granted. All that we built up, I bought you diamonds. I guess they didn't mean much. Now how you planned it was a clever cover-up. Now you can't stand it, 'cause you ran out of luck. So every time you talk, every time, yeah, stop your lying, stop your lying. You know you've been caught, yeah, be the same. So lay down your cards, lay down your cards, 'cause I'm through with you, going on without you, erasing all your memories and everything about you. 'Cause I know it's okay, I'm not afraid to walk away. When I turn around this time, there's nothing left to tell me. Where do we go from here? And girl, please spare me that old familiar tear. I gave my heart and soul. So girl, you know the deal. No need to hide. I'm trying to find a reason to forgive. No more deceiving. So you best just keep it real. It took some time, but the truth has been revealed. So every time you talk, keep pissing me off. Yeah, you know you've been caught. Yeah, never be the same. So lay down your cards, 'cause game recognized game. 'Cause I'm through with you, going on without you, erasing all your memories and everything about you. 'Cause I know it's okay, I'm not afraid to walk away. When I turn around this time, there's nothing left to. Don't you know that there's nothing to say? Nothing left to say. Don't you know that there's nothing to say? Nothing left to say. Don't you know there's nothing to say? Nothing left to say. Don't you know there's nothing to say? Nothing left to say. Every time pissing me off. Stop your lying. Know you've been caught. Yeah, never be the same. Whoa, game recognized game. 'Cause I'm through. I'm going on, erasing all your memories and everything about you. 'Cause I know it's okay, I'm not afraid. When I turn around this time, there's nothing left to.
Yes, it is that time. That was Nothing Left to Say, performed by our special guest, Raphael Ashanti, from his hit album, Love and Life. We will hear more from Ashanti, Mr. Raphael, that is, and a special interview with him coming up as we chop it up with him in the bank room later today. You are right now listening to your Prosperity Insights with, you guessed it, Joe Midas Mind Miller. It is right now time for this week's Prosperity Insight. Joe, take it away.
Thank you so much, Quiet Storm. Somebody at old Raphael Radio is loving me to give me this kind of music to go into my show. Tonight's Prosperity Insight is about adjusting accordingly. If what you are doing is not working, adjust. Rather than giving up on the effort, give the effort the benefit of your experience and informed consideration. Every time you fail to get the result you want, you succeed in learning more about what doesn't work. Put that knowledge to good use and make some adjustments. Even when you get the desired result, you've likely learned how you could have done things even better. Whether you succeeded or failed, make the adjustments that will make you more effective next time. Conditions regularly change, and you have the opportunity to change with them, even ahead of them. By adjusting your efforts, you can keep creating new, meaningful value. The animals, plants, organizations, businesses, and individuals who succeed in the long term are the ones who adapt and adjust. Be aware of your level of effectiveness. Be aware of your environment. Be aware of what changes and what doesn't, and adjust accordingly. Even the smallest adjustment can sometimes make the difference between success and failure. Make the attempt. Learn the lessons. Observe the territory. And adjust your way to success. An action I can see that I can take for myself when it comes to the theme, adjust accordingly, as I grow my prosperity consciousness is, I can connect with more people like tonight's guest, Raphael Ashanti. Raphael has done the music business for 30 years. He's seasoned. He knows the ropes of this boxing match. Why would I go willy-nilly to a good, great, but unseasoned idea before talking to a man like that first if I can gain his access? Please think. Time for a performance from our special guest, man of the hour, Raphael Ashanti. Over in the bank room, where we feature a new and upcoming artist each week, and sometimes we get incredible gifts like tonight. Quiet Storm, over to you.
And thank you. Tonight we have an awesome performer and wonderful singer extraordinaire, Raphael Ashanti, performing Let Me Be from his hit album, Love and Life. And Raphael, I want to welcome you to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And please, to start us off, share a little about yourself, your hit album, Love and Life.
Well, thank you very much. I was born in Louisville, Kentucky territory in Fulton County. Lost my father to diabetes at an early age. So my mom had to turn into a supermom in order to raise 8 children and try to keep the family together and rooted without a father. She had to work a lot. So as a result, I, more so than my brothers and sisters, spent a lot of time alone. And that's where music became my escape. I'm just an old Midwesterner, grew up in Michigan City, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, South Bend, Chicago, Illinois, and Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The project Love and Life is just a compilation of songs about various love experiences, universal love experiences, and experiences in my life that others can relate to, that had been churning in my soul for a few years, And this just turned out to be the perfect and chosen time to get it out.
Well, thank you so much for that. And, of course, we're going to be coming right back to you in just a little bit. Listeners, I know you've been waiting, so let's hear Let Me Be. DJ, hit it.
My life in the sunshine. It started in Kentucky, in the state I was born. My father died early and my mother was torn. 8 children to raise, she had no time to mourn. Our life was like a movie, but no popcorn. Started looking for a job at an early age. Mama needed help and bills had to be paid. It was difficult to watch her leaving home every day. She was working at the hospital, minimum wage. She said, yes sir, no sir, and thank you please. Collecting welfare stamps and government cheese. I made a few missteps and I ended up in jail. Everybody that I knew was catching 9 kinds of hell. You gotta work to get ahead is what society said. Every man for himself if you wanna be fed. Had me planning and hoping there was another way out. Tricky government and taxes taking food out my mouth. Sing. Why don't they just simply let me be? Their lack of trust is putting a spell on me. No love for my friends, not even family. My prayer to God, I keep my sanity. My life in the sunshine. You got radio, television, people, magazines, media maggots sucking blood from your dreams. I may not be a prophet, but I am heaven sent. And I'm touching souls with my lyrical content. They place me in the middle of preachers and congregations. Choir members singing their reverent jubilations. The club get my money when I'm coming in the door. The church get my money in the middle of the show. We believe in the money and in God we trust. But we didn't believe Michael, they don't care about us. Now look at it another way, just plain and simple. As if you didn't know there are thieves in the temple. Cracks in the sidewalk speak to me. They're saying I'm a star, give us free. Am I living a dream or is the dream living me? Unplugging from the matrix, now let me be. Why don't they just simply let me be? Their lack of trust is putting a spell on me. Yeah, what I'm talking about. No love for my friends, not even family. No love, no love. My prayer to God, I keep my sanity. Don't tell me what I need to do. Don't tell me I must follow you. Don't tell me what I need to see. Don't tell me what I need to be. Don't tell me what I need to do. Don't tell me I must follow you. Don't tell me what I need to see. Don't tell me what I need to be. Everybody know that I can't go back to where I started from. 'Cause if I do, I know there's gonna be something left undone. Then it's about a bang, about a boom. When life ain't got no room, then it's about a bang, about a boom. When life ain't got no room. Son. Why don't they just simply let me be? Their lack of trust is putting a spell on me. No love for my friends, not even family. No love. My prayer to God, I keep my sanity. My life in the sunshine. Everybody love the sunshine.
Woo! Joe, is Raphael getting a couple of snaps or kicked out of the vault for Let Me Be?
Raphael, that hit me so hard. Because you are touching souls with your lyrical content. You own it, bro.
Yes,
There are thieves in the temple, which is, you know what? The thieves in the temple that I can clearly see have me skip a whole lot of Sunday mornings. I'm just telling you, I know what it is.
Amen.
And I love when you came back with, don't tell me what I need to be. Don't tell me how I need to act. Don't tell me what I need to do, because I see you stealing. You a thief in the temple.
Amen.
But I heard inside that a whole bunch of love for the Creator, because what I heard inside it was a whole bunch of truth. And truth defines itself as freedom. I really like that, bro. That's nothing but snap squats. Nothing but snap. I love it.
All right.
Let me ask you, Raphael, because I've got a couple of questions for you, and the first is something I really need to know about the business of being this good and fighting through this industry. Not only the church has thieves, this is a whole world we're dealing with. What are the two biggest pitfalls you see entertainers who have started to make some money fall into when it comes to preparing for their financial future?
That's a good question. But to answer that, Joe, I would say, courage. We got to have courage. The opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice; it's conformity. So when we fail to conform.
Whoa! Say that one more time for me. That was heavy.
The opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice. It's not being coward. It's conforming. Because then you're being what others want you to be. We need to have the autonomy of being who we are as artists, who God created us to be. Let that creativity come out, not to be dictated, by someone in the ivory tower telling you that this is, what's profitable really is what they point to, But a lot of times, what's profitable is not progressive. But to answer your question specifically, I say an artist, by not reinvesting in yourself, because the very first reason you need someone else, the very first reason you need that label in the first place is because they have deep pockets. And you may even have an idea, you may even have a game plan and know how to work it, which without finances is a disservice to the person with the knowledge. And finances without knowledge is a disservice to the person with the finances. So Here you are with all the knowledge and no finances. So I say, as you start to get those and accumulate those finances, you talk about preparing for the financial future. I've learned the hard way. We had a session the other night where I talked about how I lost, before I won. By not reinvesting in yourself, that's a problem. By not starting your own company, that's a problem. We want to be a part of other companies. We don't want to be our own company. We are Me Incorporated. You Incorporated. That's a company. So, me fi me. Okay? Start your own company. Label other businesses, and it's really profitable and more advantageous to them, more tax write-offs. They can lose with another company and still get something written off for it. But if they lose company to person, what do they get out of that? Nothing. You can sue them, but, are they paying? How many people down there in the courthouse now with judgments, right? You can't force them.
Let me ask you this, Raphael. What is the most important thing an aspiring entertainer should concern themselves with when it comes to money?
I'm going to go back to this again. First off, reinvesting in yourself. When you get that money, the first place it should be going is to you and your family. Diversifying your investment portfolio, if you will, as to allow that portfolio to bring multiple streams of income into your business or businesses, into your family. You can invest in other things other than what you're doing. I had a taxi service for a number of years that I didn't even have to operate. I had other people working it for it, so designate, create a diversified portfolio for building, let me say this, for the family, building generational wealth, particularly black entertainment.
That is
yes.
Let me stop you right now, because you know what? You said something that is super profound. Generational wealth. You get it, Quiet Storm?
Absolutely.
You have a question, maybe?
As a matter of fact, Raphael, this is going in a little bit different direction, but I want you to just take a little minute and tell me, what was it like the first time you actually got paid for performing?
Oh, wow. It was surreal. I was like, you mean I get paid for doing what I love to do? And in some cases, I could name my own price. They were asking me, how much will you charge to do this or to do that for an hour or so? I was like, what? I could have kicked myself for every assembly line job that I'd ever taken, for every shovel, every rake I ever picked up and used to make someone else a profit or fortune. I felt like I can do what I love and get paid for it. Wow.
Amen to that. And I have a follow-up question. I know that you have a launch party coming up. Can you share some of the details with our listeners right now and how they can follow you and, of course, purchase your album?
Absolutely. Raphael Ashanti Life album release party this Sunday, August 10th, 4:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on air on the Survival Radio Network program, The Conversation, with hosts Michelle Gilliam-Morrissey and Clark Garrison. They can call in at 917-932-1078, or they can go online at www.blogtalkradio.com/survive365. We're going to be listening to my songs. I'm going to give the backstories. I'll be giving away a few limited number of copies of the Love and Life Project, and I'll have a few special guests stopping through. We're just going to have a big party, and I would love to invite your audience and everyone within my voice to come in and come on and join us. We'd love to have you.
Well, we thank you for that, Raphael Ashanti. And, of course, we will all be there this Sunday, folks, August the 10th. Ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the performance from Raphael Ashanti and the tracks from his new album, Love and Life. Right about now, it's time for Joe and this week's exercise for doing what? Building a prosperity consciousness.
This week's exercise for building a prosperity consciousness and maintaining your financial well-being is creating relationships for prosperity by seeking wisdom from successful people like Raphael Ashanti. Part 2. The intent of last week's exercise was to create relationships for prosperity by seeking wisdom from successful people. You're already doing it. Part of the exercise was to ask people to share their secret for being prosperous and wealthy. These are the 3 responses that surprised me the most and opened up new possibilities for expanding my prosperity and wealth. Secret number 1. I found out, and I know if you did this exercise, you found out that successful people love talking about themselves. Secret number 2. When you ask them to come on into your world, tell them about your project and how they would administer your project, without thinking twice, they realize that you respect the power of what they've already done. And any egotist now takes control to give you his or her own best thoughts about how to administer your business. Secret number 3. You went into this for information, but what you found out is that you may well have found your own investor right there by simply asking a question. And even if you haven't found the investor, you found a mentor who is probably willing to open up and give you his whole Rolodex to help you substantiate what he has already told you. For the feminist, it could have been what she has already told you. Forgive me. Those are secrets. This week's exercise is similar to last week's. Check it out. Number 1, ask at least 2 people daily who are already successful and you want to do business with to share their secret for being prosperous and wealthy. Number 2, if you own a business or provide a service, ask them to come and check you out, whatever it is you're doing. Number 3, write what you notice about yourself and your thinking about money when it comes to using money to create relationships naturally. Remember, people don't plan to fail. They fail to plan. I hope you've enjoyed this week's Prosperity Insights and use the exercise to stay on the path as you build and maintain your financial well-being. Thanks for listening.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. You have been listening to Prosperity Insights with Joe Midas Mind Miller. And, of course, you can contact Joe at joe@yourprosperityinsights.com or visit him on the web at yourprosperityinsights.com.